All right, everyone. Today we're going to discuss grading, the grading companies, and I don't know, fourth or fifth party graders.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Look, I know that's not the term fourth or fifth party graders. It's just trying to say that there's three graders that most people grade from, and if it's not one of those companies, it's just the other guys. And this is the other guys. And I found this at the flea market, which is kind of crazy, right? So let's talk about grading, right? There's three companies currently that operate in the grading market that are real companies, or like considered, if you don't get it graded from these three companies, it may as well be raw. A CC&G 10 isn't worth anything close to a 10 from PSA or a BGS. Okay? Now let's discuss the grading companies. The real ones. There's three. We have CGC, PSA, and BGS. CGC is so fugazi. They give out 10s left and right, and you know the only reason people are grading with them is to get 10s. They pull all this types of bullshit where they helped people tamper with cards and let them have a real label with numbers instead of authentic altered. So CGC is shady. They give out too high grades left and right. It's only a matter of time before their behavior starts to catch up with them reputationally. Okay. PSA, great company, solid rep. They make mistakes like everyone else. So if you hear about random mistakes, it's like, oh, 1 in a million, whatever. You know, like, you can't be perfect, right? Anyway, PSA, they're good. My problem with PSA, they don't have subgrades. They don't have half grades either. It's full grades, 9, 10, 8, 9, 10, you know? It's no 8.5s, no 9.5s, and a lot of the times people compare a BGS 9.5 to a PSA 10. Both are gem mint, right? Okay. So PSA, I like the company. It's solid. But if I'm going to grade cards, it depends on what I'm grading. If I'm grading new stuff, like, I don't know, fractured foils or confetti or something like that, I might go with PSA. If I'm grading older stuff, vintage Arabian Nights cards or legends, I'm going with BGS. Okay, now let's talk about BGS. Again, their reputation, it's not as stellar as PSA, but it's a lot better than CGC. Okay, they don't have great customer service sometimes. I've never experienced that, but I've heard of stories. Okay, BGS, Becket, that's all my cards are graded by Becket. I have a couple of PSA and no CGC. Reliable. They're very tough graders. So if you actually get a 10 or a black label, you have something valuable there. The value of black labels is beyond any other grading company. Okay, like PSA 10s can't compare to a BGS black label, and that's when all four of the subgrades, which are corners, surface, edges, and centering, that's when all four of them are 10s. Okay, I've graded hundreds of cards and I've only gotten one. Just saying, it's pretty difficult to get a black label. So those are the main companies. Let me show you real quick why you don't want to go with some of these third party, not top tier grading companies. Okay, so this is one of the cards I found at the flea market in some third party graded slab. Who is this? CC&G. I like that. Not CCG, but CC&G. Listen, I don't know if you can hear this. Can you hear that? Let me do it near the microphone. That's the card shaking in here, right? Now, if it can knock around inside of its holding area, what makes you think it's really not going to get damaged. So let me take this card, and I'm going to hit a bunch of times down and try to dent it. Okay. I'm going to do it on the ground even. Try to get a good shake in there. Okay. Now let's see. Oh yeah. So there is clearly a mark from here to here on the edge. It's now flipped up. I wish I could get that on camera here. I don't know if you guys can see that, but on the bottom edge, where this piece of plastic is holding it in, there's just like that shape indented into the card. It's kind of crazy, actually. That is not good. And this is what I'm talking about, third-party grading. Not third-party, like fourth or fifth-party grading. Okay? Let's go back to the other view. Damage inside of a slab. I mean, that's what a slab is supposed to protect against. It's pretty bad on the edge, and it's funny because it's legit only where that little plastic bumper is. So this case is damaging this card. We can hear it. Yeah. I would never go with a company like that. I would never value a card that's graded in one of these other companies, the same as a PSA or BGS or even a CGC easy grade card. So that's where I'm at. When it comes to grading, look, you go on the website, you fill the form, you got to pay extra money for insurance, for shipping. It's kind of a pain in the ass. So I'll be offering a service for patrons coming up after Vegas. If you want to grade when I grade, it's just a couple of extra bucks per card. You just send it to me. I'll handle all the submission, sending out, and getting it back. I haven't figured out any pricing or anything yet, but a couple of patrons expressed interest in this. So, yeah, we'll be providing some grading services. If enough people want to do this, I will also be grading with PSA. Yeah, I think the biggest fear with people with grading is sending their cards out and having it in the mail. And I get that. I do. But look, I've never, ever had a problem. I use priority flat rate boxes. Okay? It gets there fast, it gets there insured, and it gets there with tracking. And, it's a red and white box from the post office. Not many of them are getting effed up compared to just random brown boxes, right? There's other options too. This might come before Vegas, this video, but if it doesn't, consider Vegas swapped with other cons, right? So sometimes Becket will go to a show, and if you want to grade it there, like you hand it to them Friday and you pick it up Saturday or Sunday or even later Friday, right? It's $125. That's expensive. However, if you do a raw card review, I think it's $25 or $30. That means it gets put in like one of those soft, what are they called? Card savers. And they put a label sealing it with the estimated grade. That's a raw card review. They're also doing graded card reviews, GCRs, which are $25, which they'll take your graded card and they'll look at it. If you think it's not like where it should be, they'll look at it and potentially regrade it. But the real benefit of the show is the on-site submissions, meaning you can take your submission and give it to them there, right? That'll prevent your card from nebulously floating out in the post office. But what it also does, it saves on shipping to them, it saves on insurance to them, and it's also 10% off. So, I think I'll be submitting a grading order in person, for them to take home and send back to me. Anyway, so grading tips. Just make sure your cards, when you send them out for grading, they're in brand new top loaders and sleeves, because any dust on your card, they won't remove. Make sure your card is dust free before it gets to them. I've seen people take cards out and use a microfiber cloth to wipe off any fingerprints or anything. That's fine. Once you start to use chemicals or anything on it, now you've tampered with your card. There are a few things you can do to repair your cards. I don't like to F around. So at most, I'll replace a dirty or dusty sleeve or top loader. That's it. I don't like touching the cards much. I feel like the more you touch them, the more you expose them to the risk of damage. I think that's about it. About $20 to grade a card, maybe 25 depending on who you go with. Again, I would go with BGS. CGC is for scammers. PSA is for Pokemon and new cards. Just saying. So I forgot to include before in the grading video that right now GameStop has just started offering grading submissions for PSA, as in they'll take your cards and they'll send them to PSA and, handle all that. You just got to pay them for it. I'm sure there's going to be a fee on top of it. I don't know what the fee is right now. I just know that this is a new service and we'll see how it goes. It's an interesting development in the grading card market, I'll tell you what, though, because of the amount of GameStop stores that are everywhere and the fact that it will allow people from places that aren't that can't grade that easily an opportunity to grade cards. So we'll see how that works out. And now back to the video because I recorded the video earlier. Remember to like and subscribe. If you're new here, check out my Patreon. If you like my videos, consider supporting me there. Otherwise, if you're going to buy any cards today, remember to use TCG Player, my TCG Player affiliate link. It is free and easy to use. You click on it, shop like normal, helps out a lot. Otherwise, take care. Have a lovely day.
That's it, man. Game over, man. Game over. What the fuck are we gonna do now? What are we gonna do?
Maybe we could build a fire, sing a couple of songs, huh? Why don't we try that?